So what I'm going to do now is to open it up and then we can finish. So I'm going to go to our folder and then it says open the file n122text.rtf. So this is the file here. Permit me, I'm going to split my screen so that we can see it easily. Okay, good. So now it says save this file as a Word document using the file name classwork on your desktop. But in this case, I'm not going to save it on the desktop. I'm going to save it in my work area. So file, save as, 8D document production, and then this will be classwork. And then I'm going to change this from RTF to Word document. Now the reason why I'm doing this is that when you leave the file as RTF, the rich text file format, only formatting that is done on text will be saved. So if you put up images or anything like that, images, charts, or anything like that, those would not be saved. Okay, so you need to make sure you change it to Word document, and then I'm going to click on save. Now it says set the paper size to A4, so I'll go to page layout size and I'll choose A4. Okay, and then it said set the orientation to portrait, so orientation portrait. Now it says set the top, bottom, left and right margins to 2 centimeters. So I'll just bring up my page setup here and then set all of that to 2 centimeters. Okay, like that. I think that's all I need to do here. I'll click OK. Now the next thing is said place in the header your full name left align and your form group right align. So I'll go to insert header. I'll use the blank 3-column template, and then it says left align my full name, and then right align my form group. So I'm just going to say year 8, oops, year 8D. Now I'm going to remove any existing placeholder that I don't need. Now it says place in the footer, so I'll go click on go to footer. Today's date left aligned, so I would put the 3-column template again, footer, left aligned today's date, so date and time. Make sure this is checked, and I'll just use this format and click OK. And then it says an automated page number centered align, so this is my center. Now go to page number here, and I'm going to current position, not bottom of page. Okay, that's current position and 1. Okay, so I'm going to remove the placeholder here because we don't need that. Now I'm done with my header and footer, so I'm going to close the header and footer. Okay, so it says insert the text Tawara Star Family Cars, okay, as a title of the document. So at the top here I'm going to say Tawara Star Family Cars. Okay, so this is my title. Now what I would suggest you do sometimes is just maybe go to style and then choose title so that you remember. Okay, so I'll choose title for now, and then it says make the center the line, so it's already centered the line for me. I don't need to do that. Set the font size to 30 points, so I'm going to select all of this and then font size 30 points. and then it says add the text latest company news by and add your full name to it. So I'm going to put that text here. Let me put it under latest company news. Please take note, I'm writing it the same way they gave it to me. Where there's a capital letter, I'm putting a capital letter. Where there's a small letter, I'm putting a small letter. Okay? And then my name. Oops. I'm supposed to have semicolon or column. Alright. And then it says make this a subtitle. So I'll just maybe say subtitle for now. And then the format, it says set both the title and subtitle as sans serif. So this is already sans serif, both of them. Okay, remember sans serif is Latin, it means no emphasis. Okay, well serif means emphasis, so there's no emphasis. I'll leave that as is. And then a good example of sans serif is Arial. A good example of serif is Times New Roman. Now it said set the font size of the subtitle to 15 points. So I'm going to make this 15. Alright. And they said make the subtitle italic and underline. So italic and underline. And then make it right align. So I'm going to make this right align. Okay. And what else? Now it says format the text after the subtitle, okay, of the body to 2 equally spaced columns, have a 1 centimeter gap between the columns and with a line between the columns. So this is what I always say. Most times it's always good to read your question again so you can pick up the point. So first things first, I'm going to use my highlighter. Okay, the first thing it says format the text after the subtitle. Okay, so that's the body text. That means from here down to the end. Okay, so I've selected everything there. Notice I did not take the subtitle and the title. Okay, now it says to 2 equally spaced columns. So layout, columns, more columns. Okay, so the preset is 2. Okay, and here it says a 1 centimeter gap between the columns, so here should be 1 centimeter. Okay, and then it says with a line, okay, between the columns, so I'll put the line. All right, and then it says it has a 14 point, so I'm just going to click OK first, and then it says this is 14 point, so I'll put 14. Serif font, so serif, that means Times New Roman. Okay, so I'll choose Times New Roman. There you go. And one more thing, let me select it back again. It says it is fully justified, so I'm going to click on justified here. Okay. Oh, I skipped something. It said single line spacing with a consistent 8-point space after each paragraph. So I need to bring more paragraph setup. Now it says justified here, and then the line spacing is single, and then it says 8 points after each paragraph. So I'll put 8 there, and then I'll click OK. So this is how it should look like. Alright, well, I'm having an issue here because this is 16 points, so I need to correct that. 15, or is it 14 points? Sorry, I didn't select this part when I was typing. Okay, so 14 point justified. Yeah, good. think there's something. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Now it says identify the subheadings and make them bold, center the line, and italic. So I can see one subheading here, I can see another one, and then the last one here. So what I'll do is I'll pick the first subheading, highlight it, and then I'll make it bold, make it center the line, and then make it italic. Now once I've done this, I will click on my format painter. We talked about format painter in the last class, and then I'll highlight the other one, format painter again, and then highlight the other one. And so this is how you solve the task. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is to print. Now during the assessment I said print using Microsoft Print to PDF. Okay, what that simply means is that you come to file and you go to print. Now instead of picking a printer here, you choose the option Microsoft Print to PDF. So what this will do is it'll print your document in the format you have it, but it will save as a PDF file. Okay, now this is different from save as and then you choose PDF option. This maintains the formatting as if you printed out your work. Okay, print to PDF will only just save the current format that the Word document has when you use save as. So always use this option in case you're not supposed to print out physically. So Microsoft Print to PDF, everything is okay, and then I'll click print. Now based on the instruction, you most likely will ask to save with your name. So I'm going to do something like this. Alright, and then I'll put 8D. Yeah, 8D. Okay, and I need to save it in my work area. Please make sure all your work is always saved in your work area. So once that is done, I'll click on save. That is everything about it. Is there any question for me so far? Hello, did you guys get the last task? Did you see the last part?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat it. You do file, print, Microsoft Print to PDF, and then when it asks you to save it using whatever description they gave, and then you click on save. Okay, so now this is coming up because I already have the file in my work area, so I'll just say yes, replace it. Okay, so this is how to solve this task. Okay, the next class we'll look at charts, but today I want us to look at tables, how to work with tables. Okay, so I'm going to upload a file now to Google Classroom. Please make sure you download that file to your computer. Okay, so let me just edit this and then add a new resource material. Shoot. Sorry, one moment. Okay, so you highlight all the content like this and then press Ctrl C on your keyboard to copy. Go to your Word document in the location where they asked you to put it. So let's assume they asked you to put it on the here. So I'll hit enter and then I'm going to do Ctrl V on my keyboard to paste. Alright. Now, this is what I usually like to do and what I recommend to do, because in most cases they'll ask you to do the same thing. So click on the plus sign that comes here to select all the table, and then you'll see two menu tabs will come up for table tools. So you have design and then you have layout. Okay, so under the layout there's a section that says auto fit. So I'm going to choose window. All right, and then another thing is, so that my grid line shows or my borders show, I'm come to borders here and I'll say all borders. That way I can see everything that is on the table. Okay, so the auto fit, what the auto fit does is it assures you or ensures that your table fits within the margins. So either the column margins or the page margins, whatever margins you're supposed to fit it in. So if you choose auto fit and then say auto fit window, that will sort that out. Now let's look at how to delete columns. So let's assume I want to delete the last four columns, or yeah, the last four columns on this table. So what I'll do is I'll select these four columns this way, all right, and then I can come to my table tool, right, layout, and then I have the delete option and I'll say delete columns. So you can delete a cell, you can delete columns, you can delete rows. Delete table will just delete the entire table, but I want to delete the columns here. Okay, so it's beginning to take shape. If they ask you to delete certain records, okay, you can also do that as well. So let's assume I want to delete this 3 records here, or let's say this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This 7 records, so I'll select them and then say delete row. Okay, is it making sense so far?
Sorry, can you explain it again?
Okay, I'm going to start all over again.
Mr.
Okay,
Henry, are we meant to be doing this or watching you do it?
okay, watch me do it and then I'll send a video so you can practice on your own. Okay, all right. Okay, so we have, you asked to put it in this location, so I'm going to do that. Remember, the first thing you need to do is select all the records here and then click on Ctrl C to copy. Then you go back to your Word document. Maybe you're asked to put it in this location, so I'll do Ctrl V. Now you can see that my table actually went beyond my column margin. So what I'll do to fix that is I'll come here, click on the plus sign here to select all the fields. Then when my table tool menu comes up, let me just make my screen big. Okay, all right, so when my table tools menu come up, I'll go to my layout and then I'm going to choose auto fit and I'll say window. So what this would do is it will fit the entire table within my column margins. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is I want to be able to see the entire structure of this table. So I'll come to the design section and then make my borders visible by clicking borders and all borders. Okay, now I said we need to delete some columns. So let's assume I want to delete the last 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to delete these 5 columns. So I can either come to delete here and then delete columns, or I can come to layout, delete, and then delete columns. Okay, So assuming I also want to delete some rows. So let's assume I want to delete, let's say 10 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, let's delete this 9. Okay, same process, delete and then delete rows. Okay, so my tables begin to take shape. Now the next thing I want to do is to make sure some of those words are not cropped. Okay, so I can adjust this ones. First things first, let's merge the cells. We've done this before in year 7, so it shouldn't be anything new. Merge cells, and then I don't want a text wrap here, so I can actually select all of these and I'll say text wrap. Now we have all of this in place. You might want to make sure that your things like your ID number and the rest are not wrapped this way. So what you can do is you can adjust the fields if it will work. Adjust the fields. Okay. Okay. Okay, so the reason why this is not adjusting is because it's reached its maximum weight that it can take. Okay, but you don't need to worry yourself much about this. Whatever table structure they give to you and ask you to fit into your column weight will definitely work the way it should. Okay, so I was just trying to show you how to do that. So we know how to merge our tables. They might ask you to do some formatting, so maybe like make it bold, maybe center the line, maybe increase the font size to 14, something like that. Okay, they might tell you to do things like shading, so maybe the heading here, add like a shading to it. So if I want to do that, I'll come to my layout, sorry, my design, and then where it says shading, maybe a light gray shading, or if they say 15 to 40%, so you can use 15, you can use 25 or 35. It's up to you what you want to use. So this is how you set those shading and how you work with tables. So any questions so far? Is there any question so far? Yes, Deborah, your hands is up. Mohammed, any question?
No.
Okay, your hand is raised up.
Oh, I forgot.
Okay. Deborah, do you have a question? Okay, so please make sure your webcam is turned on. I can see some of you, your webcam is not on. Make sure your webcam is turned on. Okay. All right. So this is how you insert tables. We already looked at how to insert shapes, didn't we? Okay. So the next thing we're going to do, this one says insert pictures of new showroom. So we'll look at that later. The next thing we're going to look at is how to insert charts. Okay. So we can actually insert charts from here. Okay, so if we go to our insert menu and then click on chart. So first thing you need to do is to pick a location where the chart should be and then click on insert. And if they say use a column chart, you can choose this one. If it's a pie chart, then you go to this option. So usually what we'll ask you to do is to use either a column chart, or we'll call it a vertical bar chart, and then a pie chart. Okay, so let's use a vertical bar chart for instance to represent what we want to build. So here we have our table here. I think we created charts in year 7, didn't we? Guys, did we create charts in year 7?
We did.
You did. Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
happy you know how to do that. Okay, so when we did Excel in year 7, we created charts. So that means you can actually create a chart with your series here and then insert it. So just a revision, your chart, your series here is talking about the plotted bar charts. So series 1, series 2, series 3. So if I delete this one for instance, so you see I have 2 of them. Then your category is talking about your horizontal axis. So this is where you have your names of the items, and then your value axis is the plotted values. Okay, so if I do this, if I say 8D for instance, and I say 8E. So let's assume we want to do a comparison of scores or score averages for different subjects, or class average for different subjects. So let's put English here, and then let's put math, let's put ICT. Tell me, what subject do you guys like? What's your favorite subject? Ibrahim, that
PE.
you're watching ended now.
PE.
PE. Okay, Maverick likes PE. Okay, so this is the average.
What am I doing again?
This is the average. Alright, so can you see the information has been plotted here? So we have 0, 2, 4, 6, that is the value. Okay, and then we have the plotted information here, the legend. So we can actually resize this information to any shape or position we want it. Okay, we can even do like a text wrap around it. You know how to do text wrap already. So I'll come to insert, better still, shape format, and then say square. So different things you can plan out different ways to work on your charts and objects. Any questions so far? Any question? Confusions, argument? Please turn on your webcam. Some of you have your webcam off. Please turn on your webcam. Okay. So for our practical on document production, we've looked at how to format text. We've looked at how to format the page. We've looked at how to insert objects. We looked at how to insert images, how to insert tables, charts. Okay. So we're done with practical. Please take note that for your exam, you'll be tested on all these things for your ICT practical exams. If there's any issues, I strongly suggest you speak now. So I need feedback. Is there any part that's confusing for you guys? Is there any part? No one is speaking now. Okay. So question number 2. Do you guys want to see your test score for practical?
Yes. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I know
Yes.
Ibrahim will be the
Yes.
first to start.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yes, Princess. Princess, you raised your hand.
I still could not understand the table part. That's why I started the table.
Sorry, you didn't understand the table part? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. So the good thing is that I have